Well, interesting numbers there from Kenya Airways, and of course it remains to be seen whether the airline will be able to fly out of turbulence and land into profitable territory. Well, we want to switch gears a bit and talk about medical tourism. And of course, just before we get into that conversation, we just want to remind you that we will be continuing with our coverage of the NASA rally expected to start at Uhuru Park. And our colleagues are keeping an eye on this particular story for us. As we heard earlier on from our senior reporter, Duncan Haemba, a police truck has been set ablaze at the Jogo Road roundabout. And so far, he's also reported that 3 people have been shot and 1 has succumbed. We'll continue to follow up for you this developing story, but let's switch gears a bit. Like I said, we want to talk matters medical, and just picking up from that developing story, we want to bring on board Dr. Mishra, who is the founder of Mediheal Hospitals, and just to also pick your mind on the current state of affairs in the country. What do you make of the politics of the day?
Well, politics was there. I think, God willing, it is coming to an end. The verdict will be by Monday, and then swearing will be next week, and then we call it a day. And then we believe in good politics at Jubilee Party, Member of Parliament and Jubilee Party and our leadership. We believe in good politics gives rise to good governance. So our focus is no more politics, because as far as Jubilee Party is concerned, we are no more into politics, we are into governance. So we will concentrate in development and well-being of the country, yes.
All right. Let's talk about medical tourism and how private hospitals are playing a big role towards offering critical healthcare services to the Kenyans.
Well, I will give just a brief background about India first. India, what was in 85 to 95, Kenya is in the same position now. I remember when I was a medical student in India, because 85, 95, up to 95, even 96, Indians used to go to US, Western world, Europe, for open heart surgery, transplant surgery, bypass surgery, replacement surgery, so and so for cancer care, advanced cancer care, and so on and so forth. But now we know India is the #1 in the world today as far as destination and travel of the medical tourism and travels are concerned. So Kenya is in the same position now. But as private hospitals, we are encouraged now, because 75 to 80%, or rather 70, let me be conservative, 70% of medical practice, of advanced medical practice, we are practicing in Kenya today. But Rome was not built in a day. We are still having our challenges. #1 is Africa is not a manufacturing continent. Even medical components as far as advanced devices and equipments, which all over the world, the best is Western world, like Germany, US and all.
Sure.
Apart from that, the medical furnitures, medical disposables, pharmaceuticals, and so on and so forth, support services, none of them we manufacture. So our initial cost of investment and infrastructure development is very high, #1. #2, health education is very paramount, because we need health education not only to educate and expertise the medical doctors, dentists, but also paramedics, all paramedics, 12 to 14. That is #2. #3 is the policy of the government towards the private sector has to be we are doing well. We need more attention and more cooperation. Yes.
So what's the outlook for healthcare in the country in a time where we are seeing the cost of medicines have gone up, cost of basic healthcare has also gone up? What needs to be done to ensure we have affordable healthcare for the ordinary Kenyan?
Well, when I came to Kenya, Africa, 97, the cost, the infrastructure, what was there is hell and heaven difference now. The cost is going down. I will tell you, today, as far as Kenya is concerned, 10,000 Kenyans are going to India every year. And
But this shouldn't be the case.
Let me come there. We are spending 10 billion plus money every year from our country revenue is going. But now, if we are saying we will promote more competition in private sector, in both for the pharmaceuticals and also hospitals, then everything will go down. I will give an example. Now, today, we are some super specialized services. I will tell you about replacement and reconstruction surgery, hip and knee replacement or shoulder replacement. Well, the initially cost was high, but today the competition is so high in Kenya itself, even Eldoret town, where I come from. The cost is now, we are limiting between 450 to 550,000 Kenya shilling. If you go to India, only air ticket is 550,000 Kenya shilling. India is no more cheap for Africans, so we have to wake up and we have to do our things. Let me give you an example of kidney transplantation. We are doing kidney transplantation in Kenya, but silently it is coming up, people don't know, but within 6 months to 1 year, people will know that Kenya is the destination of kidney transplant. Now, kidney transplantation in Eldoret, we are doing in 900 to 1.1 million shilling. But if you go to India, we know 2.5 to 2.7 million shilling. In vitro fertilization, test tube baby, no more going out of Kenya now. We are doing $2,500, $3,000 up to $4,500. In South Africa, the cost of IVF is $14,000 to $15,000 in Cape Town. And forget about Sheffield and Bombay. Yeah? So the cost is coming down.
Gradually.
Now, gradually.
Yeah.
Now, another thing is also, medical science, it is a proven science. So to practice this science, we need expertise. More you practice, more we be better in the results and outcome of the practice of that science. So as far as technicality and technocrats are concerned, we are also heading for that.
Sure.
But yes.
All right. And just to get your closing remarks, how can the private hospitals continue playing a pivotal role in the place where public hospitals have failed?
First of all, Kenya will be the hub of destination for medical tourism and travels. Number one, first policy making in the government of Kenya, in the parliamentary and legislation. We have to make policies. Number two, we have to make code of practice of our doctors and personnel. That is number two. Number three, we have to encourage more subsidized way how to availing medical equipments, medical pharmaceuticals and this thing. So particularly on that side of duty and VAT, we have to do reconsideration for private sector. It's very high. And then also nowadays we know that the repair and maintenance we are charging duty, which is not possible, which we cannot compete with the Eastern world. So that is another factor. Number four, integration of medical tourism, of natural tourism. That is Kenya is a great country with everything possibly we have found as far as natural landscape is concerned. So we integrate, we are developing infrastructure, making data of destination, the different places. We choose Machakos for neuro and spine. We choose Eldoret as cancer care. We choose Mombasa, suppose for neonatal something specialization. So we choose different destination for different subspecialty. So it's a wonderful place for practice medicine. And also another thing I'll tell you, to cut short, to prevent our of course that then we also Kenya is also very popular among all countries around. 27 countries in East and Central Africa, perhaps 1 billion people. Already, Kenya is treating 3,000 to 5,000 people every year from surrounding countries. So, having said that, we need to have our intra-country connectivity, both road, surface, and air more vibrant, and also promote more health education, promote our indigenous African doctors and paramedics more, and nurses, and private sector is an icing of the cake. If the public sector is the cake, the icing is the private sector.
All
So
right.
both is required.
A lot of work to be done.
Yes, yes.
Many thanks.
Thank you. Thank you, Abe.
In your native language, they say,
Kongo Misi.
Kongo Misi.
Sigetiwe. We'll meet.
We'll meet again.
Thank you.
Many thanks, Dr. Mishra, just giving us some insights on the medical frontier, and of course saying that Kenya is going to be a big player in the region and in Africa. We want to take a quick commercial break, but just to recap that we'll be getting more updates from our reporters on the ground in relation to the NASA rally that is scheduled to take place at the Uhuru Park. We have our reporter on the ground, Duncan Haemba, who will be giving us more updates on this. For now, we take a quick commercial break. When we come back, I'll be speaking to the Vice Chancellor of Management University of Africa, Dr. Nicholas Leting. And later on, I'll be taking a look at what's been big in the week. We'll be speaking to none other than Ken Gishinga, who is our resident analyst, who will be giving us more insights into what's been happening in the week. All this after the break.